and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. So be it, Jedi.
Hello, everybody. It's Thursday night. Welcome to the GNN Cantina Happy Hour, where we always let the Wookiee win. I'm your host, David, here for this fun-filled hour as we discuss Andor. With me, as always, is Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm good.
Woo!
Whee!
Debbie's good. Cam is also with us. Cam in focus. He's down there.
Hello.
Hopefully,
How are we doing
we're going to
tonight?
be joined by somebody else. John Biscardi couldn't be here tonight. He was having some medical issues, but anyway, it's I don't think it's anything special. So before we get started on Andor tonight, I gotta say I was really excited. I got to go to the Retro Expo in Plano, Texas. Okay, that's a suburb of Dallas, and it was a blast. Anthony Daniels was there. Sam Witwer was there. Austin St. John. I actually talked to Austin St. John for a long time. The guy that played Zordon was there. So, I mean, a good thing. There was some great panels, some really cool stuff. And I haven't shown Cam or Debbie this yet, but I'm going to now just because it's quite possibly the coolest thing ever. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Mr. Sam Witwer, and this was we were sitting front row center of his panel. It was great.
Oh, man.
We were right there.
Jealous.
Did that come through? Did you hear it?
No.
What? Oh, no. All right. Hang on a minute. I'm going to try this again. No, it's up all the way. Oh, that's just sad. So I got several clips of Sam. Unfortunately, the sound is because of the way when it transferred from phone video to computer video, it was just very odd, and codecs and all this other stuff. So, I might have an idea. Maybe I can do this later. But anyway, there was he did 2 Darth Mauls, which was really cool, and this one was the one where he said something like, "I was once the apprentice to the greatest Jedi in the galaxy, but the greatest Sith in the galaxy, but all of that was foiled by the Jedi, foiled by Kenobi." So he got to say Kenobi, which was really cool. And then I'm actually, hang on a minute. Let me try and play the other one. Maybe the other one worked, and I just don't know it yet. So we're gonna try this one. If I can get it to come up. Okay, hang on. Let's try this one more time. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're going to try this again, and let me know if you can hear it or not. Nothing?
No.
Nope.
Dang.
Can you hold your phone up to your camera?
Yeah. This is the one he basically did. There was a promo for the Phantom Menace where it was fear is,
Fear is my ally. Yeah.
All that other stuff. He did the whole promo in Darth Maul. It was great. It was amazing.
Man.
He's hilarious. He's awesome.
Couldn't get the sound to work. You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought I had something really cool, and I'm gonna try and get it for I'll get it for next week. I'll figure it out. We got a cold weekend coming up here in the Dallas area, so I'll be hunkered down in my Lego room, just doing nothing, so I can tinker with it and see what I can figure out. Whatever. All right. The Geek Gauntlet is on. What's up, guys? What's up, William? How are you?
What up, William?
The Geek Gauntlet also, William, the host of the Geek Gauntlet, also does another podcast that's on Wednesday nights. It's called A Really Good Podcast, and it's not like REALLY, it's REELY. Really, they're talking about reels.
Really?
Very cool, very cool. They talked about Ninja Turtles last week, and it was a lot of fun. If I wasn't so tired, I was there for about half the show, and then I just kind of fell asleep on my couch. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's not that you were boring. I was just exhausted. I was just tired. So let's talk about Andor. Andor is this episode. Dave Gramillion, this is your Michael Bay. This is your episode, man. This is it. Yeah, I know you like. This is what you want for Star Wars. So
Pew 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 pew.
pew. Bang bang, shoot gun. Pew. But this was the jailbreak episode. We've been looking for this one for
4 episodes.
2 episodes.
Yeah, for a few episodes now. Yes, this is that episode. Oh, I lost my mouse. Yes, this is that episode. So if you haven't watched it, we're about to talk all kinds of spoilers. So don't watch our show yet. Go watch Andor first and then come back.
Like us, subscribe, and come back later.
That's right. That's right. So you don't lose it. So you know exactly where it is. So Andor. This episode was really like all of it was Andor, and it was bookended by Mon Mothma, a little bit of Mon Mothma and her banking dealings, a little bit of the ISB, and then at the very end, a little bit of Luthen at the very end. And we got some good looks at some of these characters. I want to talk about the bookends first before we sink our teeth into Andor. Oh, hit that bell icon too. Yeah, that's right. So you get notified when we come on. That's right. So the bookends. Let's talk about the bookends. We had Mon Mothma, and she's making a deal with this
Davo.
See, I don't know that he's shady necessarily.
Well, she referred to him as a thug and a thief.
As a thug and a thief, but he kind of reminds me. He's a lot like, I found the loopholes and I'm going to work the system so that it plays in my favor. You know, he was saying something about there's ways we can manage your money and do your money to where it keeps prying eyes out. And I think he knows exactly what she's doing. She kept saying charity, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, charity."
Yeah, well, he was making a Game of Thrones, House of Dragons move, trying to improve his house, so to speak. Because he's wanting to introduce his son to her daughter, which, arranged marriage, I think, is what he was alluding to. But
I think that's exactly what he even said, "I'm not talking a betrothal. I'm just want a meeting. I just want a meeting." It's so they could size each other up. And if she brings the daughter and the daughter says, "Oh yeah, he's kind of cute and all," then it's like, okay, now we can talk wedding.
Yeah. It's all Game of Thrones and it's not good.
Stephanie, I don't know who Saul Goodman is. I'm sorry. Is that
Better Call Saul?
Better Call Saul?
Is that what it is?
That's what I was thinking too. I never watched the show though.
Never.
And she keeps telling me to watch it, and I never have. So
I've never seen it either, so it's all good.
I know he's from
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad,
it was a spinoff of Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Oh well, I haven't watched Breaking Bad either, so
I haven't either.
Out of luck.
Oh my gosh,
I just knew.
Show.
I just knew it was a spinoff. That's the only. Anyway, so she basically kicks him out, says, "Screw you, we're not doing this," and he said, "Okay, I'll let you think about it." And she said, "No, I'm not even thinking about it." And he said, That's the first lie you've said today." It's like you are thinking about this, and you know it. I'll let you think. He's kind of a
a dick.
Yeah, well,
he's slimy, is what he is.
He's slimy. Yeah, that's what
Creepy.
I think that's the word I was going for. Was he's kind of slimy, and he kept saying. That was one of the things she offered to pay him like 3 or 4 times. And he kept saying, no, I don't want to. No, I don't want to owe you anything. I want to, let's just take care of this. No, I don't. Anyway,
yeah. He wants his house in good standing. That's what he wants.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones either. So.
Oh, Lord.
I've got other things I watch.
So do I.
Like Star Wars.
I watch all kinds of things.
So then we've got oh, there he is. Hang on a minute. One more. Hey, John.
Hey, sorry I'm late, guys. My wife's
okay.
a little under the weather, so we're trying to get her to feel a little bit better. So apologize for the tardiness.
Completely forgiven. This is John Ambrose. He's one of the writers for Geek News Now. You can check out his stuff over on geeknewsnow.net, as well as all the other writers we've got out there. They all put out amazing content all the time, and everything's great.
Yeah, I'm just getting over the flu, so I'll have a piece out tomorrow. I believe I'm writing about the future of the DCEU, which is off topic for here, so that's all I'll say of it. But that's
okay.
Go check it out. Go give
check
it
it out.
love.
We sometimes go off the rails. It doesn't matter.
So anyway, we're talking Andor. We're talking. We talked about Mon Mothma and her shady character. Now and we had the ISP too.
You're talking about the Mon Mothma Games of Thrones-ish moment.
Yes! Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, John.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm vindicated.
Look, Dave, it looks like you and I are birds of a feather. We had no clue.
I guess I'll have to go watch Game of Thrones.
Who the hell watches that crap?
Apparently, Debbie and John both do. So,
and House of Dragons. Check
And
that out.
House of Dragons. Yeah, that was very George R.R. Martin. That scene. Hold on, my dog's almost knocking my setting over. And it stands up to Mothma's character. The whole thing, because there's a lot of characters in the Star Wars universe that would probably jump on that deal if it meant they'd get the money. Star Wars isn't exactly known for its, even within the Jedi, its stand-up personalities. So
right.
There's I didn't think she would take that deal, to tell you the truth, because she didn't come off that way. But the other guy that she's partnered with was shocked, or at least it looked like he was shocked, that she wouldn't sell her daughter.
I wasn't even thinking of it that way, honestly. But now you said it, and I am. So I mean, he literally did offer to buy her daughter.
Yeah. So I mean,
that makes him even more creepy.
And if that's the way things went back then, I'm glad I live now.
I've got the dowry.
Excuse me, sir. Might I purchase your daughter for 4 easy installments of $39.99?
I will purchase your daughter for 2 goats and a bushel of carrots. So
But,
anyway, then we move to the ISB, the Imperial Security, and they've caught this rebel pilot, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out where this part of it is going. As far as they got the pilot, they're still after Axis, but they're trying to get this lower level. You know, we got the pilot, and he works for. I forgot what he said his name was.
Krieger or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Krieger.
Obviously, it's somebody we've never met before.
Yeah.
And he works for Keeger, and Keeger is linked in with the rebellion, and they're planning something else. And it's like this little side plot that they don't seem to want to wrap up because there's only like 2 or 3 episodes left. 2?
Yeah. And then there's a second season, right?
Season 2, yeah.
So they're probably going to leave us a heck of a cliffhanger.
Oh, I'm sure. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think with that is it's showing that because all we've known of the Empire up until this series was the bumbling bureaucrats that failed at every turn. And I think it's actually showing that at one point the Empire actually knew how to form a plan, and this is a classic plan. We work from the bottom up, and we take the little fish, and we just keep going after the big fish. And I hated that Deidre character when she came on, and I guess that was her job, to be hated. So she's doing a really good job with that. And but I think that's the classic trope, like the Law and Order trope, where they have the little guy and they set the trap, and
catch the little guy to turn on the big guy.
What I want to know is though, where does the double agent figure in?
The double agent is that they're after, I'm thinking, is Luthen, because that's the one that.
No, but no, I'm talking about the guy Luthen was talking to. That's actually in
Lonnie.
the ISB.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lonnie.
Yeah, Lonnie.
He's kind of the original Fulcrum.
Makes sense.
Okay, so the scene at the end, we can jump to this because I'm talking about the bookends anyway, so it doesn't matter. So the scene at the end, it was very Rogue One to me, except the roles were reversed. If you remember the first scene in Rogue One, it was Krennic, and he lands, and he's after Galen, and he's like, "You got to come back. I need you. We got to finish this thing. We got to do this thing, and I'm going to do everything in my power to keep you on with me." And then here the tables are flipped to where you've got Luthen, and he's like, "You're in this, buddy. We had an oath, and you're not going anywhere. I need you with me, and your daughter's beautiful. And are you threatening me?"
Yeah, it's almost like it was almost like Godfather-ish.
Yeah.
You owe me. He made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
That's right.
It would be a shame if your daughter had some misfortune along the way.
Where you find a donkey's head in your bed, or a horse's head. I'm not sure which one it was.
But anyway, it was. I was watching that and thinking to myself, "Man, this is just like Rogue One, except the roles are reversed. Now you've got the rebellion guy, the rebel guy that's putting up the fight with the Imperial and trying to keep the Imperial on."
Yeah, and what I am liking about the show is the whole series up until now. It was very up until Rogue One. Actually, it was very black and white, good and bad. If you were against the Empire, you were good. If you were on the rebellion, if you were against the Empire, you were good. If you were for the Empire, you were bad. And now it's showing. It's kind of like in the spirit of, I don't know if you've ever watched The Wire on HBO, but where the good guys have some bad guys on their side, and the bad guys have some good guys on their side, and it's very interesting to see the Star Wars project actually doing that, because it's always been light versus dark,
clear cut, good and evil.
Yeah,
that's been a gray area.
That's something that's been happening a lot lately, because Star Wars, really for the most part has always been, just like you said, just good guys and bad guys. but what this new material has done. I mean, and we saw it in the Clone Wars, we saw it in Rebels, we saw some of it in The Last Jedi, and we're seeing it now in Andor and Rogue One. That it's not always clear cut like that. Good people do bad things and bad people do good things. It's interesting to see that dichotomy kind of flipped around.
I mean, I guess you can make the argument that Han Solo was
only if you watch the original theatrical version.
Is there any other version?
No.
Okay.
No. But
All
I'm
right.
just saying, if you watch Han, I think I mentioned this last week. Han always shoots first in our cantina. So
wait a minute, are you trying to tell me that the scene of Han suddenly clipping to the side between frames wasn't how it originally was?
No.
My God.
Jeez, ruined everything.
Hashtag not my Star Wars.
Actually, there was at one point George Lucas was gonna do a super special edition to where Han and Greedo both shot at each other and they both missed, and they realized that neither one of them was really good, so they just gave each other a good bro hug. And
oh my God. And then the special edition after that would be they both shoot at the same time, the bolts meet in the middle, deflect back towards each other, Han dodges out of the way, and Greedo gets shot.
That's right, yeah.
It's kind of like
it. It's canon.
It's like that meme that went around a couple weeks ago where it's like you see George Lucas, like, imagine this. Obi-Wan and Luke walk into the most ferocious bar in the whole island. All the malevolent people are there. You've got gamblers, murderers. John Williams says, "Oh, okay. What kind of music you want playing? Oh, light jazz."
Light jazz. Yeah.
You don't want Slayer or anything? No, light jazz.
And let's also not forget what that music is actually called. And
what's that?
Oh, you don't know? It's called jizz wailing. Yes, I said jizz wailing on the Cantina happy hour. Jizz wailers.
Demonetized.
Sorry. I apologize for corrupting the youth of today.
Susan, please don't ban us.
Stuart Henderson was on. I missed him. Hi, how are you, Stuart?
So I have a question. What do you think happened in going back to Andor, if you don't mind?
No.
I'm late. I don't know what you discussed. What do you think happened to Andy Serkis's character? Because last we
haven't got there yet. Hold that thought, because that's on my radar. That's something that I was discussing. We actually were discussing. We had only discussed the beginning and the end. So basically, the like I said, the bookends. This whole episode was pretty much Andor, except for the little bit at the beginning and a little bit at the end. So they're working on a plan. They've got this plan to escape. Andy Serkis is
finally on board.
Initially, he's kind of halfway on board. He doesn't really want to, and then finally he just kind of breaks when he's in his cell and says, "Look, they're not letting anybody go. We gotta do something."
Yeah, Kino is like the reluctant hero.
Yeah, exactly. And he in fact, and that was brought out too when they actually captured the command center, and he was like, "Is that all you got? You're supposed to be motivating these people. You do this all the time.
Yeah,
come on."
And I have to say, it's a shame that he got a role like this at this old, because he's a good actor. He's doing a really good job, and it's a shame that it's taken this long for him to actually get in front of the camera and not be like a puppet or a CGI character. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he got that kind of in the MCU, but it wasn't for very long.
Actually, It was before that. Even it was.
He was Gollum.
Gollum was this. Oh, you're talking about Claw within the MCU. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did get to. He was Claw in Age of Ultron and
Age of Ultron. Good.
So good.
No.
Well, that's a discussion for MCU Mondays right here on the Geek News Now channel. Nice segue.
What a segue.
What a
Oh,
segue.
God, that was perfect.
Ultron and his endless monologues. All right.
So anyway, so he's on board. They come up with this plan. And really it's and I'd mentioned this the other day or last week when they said, he said there's thousands of us and there's only a few of them. They're scared. They can't stop all that. Well, rushing Area 51, they can't get all of us.
Now I'm confused at the designations. Is the prison part of the Empire, or is that kind of like Karn's division where they were a separate entity?
No, it was. I think it's actually part of the Empire. In fact, it would not surprise me at all if next week we get some more ISB and they said, "Hey, we just had this prison break over here," and then they start going, "Okay, who were the prisoners that escaped? Let me see their files." And it's like, "Oh, that's Andor right there. We had him." What were we thinking?
And that's when the.
In fact, you know what? I'm calling that. I bet that scene shows up next week. If not, we got 2 episodes left, so I got 2 episodes to make that scene.
I'm thinking that they're gonna see them escaping on like the prison cameras or something, and we're gonna have one of those zoom and enhance moments.
And this is when the incompetency.
Oh my God, that's
starts.
Jason Bourne.
This is when the incompetency starts. All of a sudden, stormtroopers forget how to shoot.
We did get a stormtrooper in this one. There was actually a stormtrooper in this one. I think the only thing we've had so far is the beach guys that when Andor was actually caught, there was actually a stormtrooper in it. We had a stormtrooper in this one, and we had aliens in this one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we're getting there. It's all good. But so they go to escape. They've got this plan all worked out. There's another guy coming. We don't know when the next guy is going to be there, so we got to go now. This was obviously alluded to in the last episode where he was like, look, this is where we do it right here because there's no charge on the lift, so we can get away with it here. He goes in and he causes a distraction. And I'm still kind of, I was, up until my second or third viewing of this episode, I was like, what was the point of cutting the water main? What was the point of doing that? Other than on the 8th level, the only thing I can think is that on the 8th level, they saw, there's a problem down on the 5th level. And they look at it and go, you got a water main broken. Of course, there's a problem on the 5th level.
I think it shorted out the electricity on.
Yeah.
Because the floor is lava wouldn't work.
Right.
And the lift wouldn't work either. So
I've got to show this clip. Hang on just 1 second, because John Biscardi, who couldn't be with us tonight.
Now, what was Andor doing in the bathroom?
Yeah, he was filing away at a pipe.
He left, and then broke the door the wall open, and is he sawing through water pipes that's going to flood and short circuit the system?
Oh, I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking electrical pipes.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm not sure that it. Well, I mean, the way that I think of water pipes, I think of them as being substantially bigger than that one was, and so, something like that. I was thinking electrical, but you might be right. I mean, a galaxy far, far away. I mean, who's to say their pipes have to match ours?
Thank you for that, John Biscardi. So John was right. It was the water pipes. Although I had an issue with that as someone who works with water pipes, that is not the way that they, when you are filing them and sawing them, it's not just a little trickle once you get a hole, and then you got to bust it open and get a bigger hole, and then once you get any kind of hole, it's all full pressure coming out all at once.
It's like, so, I'm glad I wasn't watching that next to my father, because he's a lifelong steam fitter, and he would have just been flipping out watching that scene.
And they're like, no, that's not the way that happens. That's on my second viewing too. I was like, no. That's
I mean, I know that just from trying to fix things around my house. You know, you even loosen a bolt a little bit, and it shoots shoots water at you. So,
and now we did lose some of the prisoners. Blaster fire, shooting fish in a barrel, basically.
couple got electrocuted before they couldn't get on the benches.
I mean, it was to be expected.
Yeah.
You weren't going to expect them. And the prisoner that they brought in, let me ask you, I don't think it was, but he looked an awful lot like Jerry O'Connell. Was that who that was? The new one that they brought in. He got shot like right at the first.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I honestly, because it just showed his face in a flash, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jerry O'Connell. No, that can't be him. Maybe it is. No.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because some people are fans. Like Prince was in Fargo, and I didn't even know that. So, I mean, you know,
Daniel Craig was in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So,
Ewan McGregor was in. Ewan McGregor.
I'm sure he was in something.
No. Because he had a cameo role, and this might be just an urban myth, but I've heard that it's true. He had a cameo role in Revenge of the Sith, other than Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was one of the Emperor Royal Guards that Yoda knocked out of the way at the very end.
Ah.
So he just because he wanted to dress up and be in a cool costume like that. So.
They just couldn't afford an extra. They spent all their budget on the green screen.
No, because it was a bunch of tough guys being like, I don't want to get knocked over by a 3-foot elf.
Yeah, that's right. A 3-foot computer-generated elf. 3-foot elf that's not even there.
Oh, you want your Screen Actors Guild card? What was your role? I got beat up by Yoda.
So anyway, they go to the escape. They make it all the way to the 8th floor. Looks like your wife is on, sir.
Oh, she is. She's having trouble sleeping, so she's probably tuning in. Matilda is an adult Obi-Wan. I'm sorry, I just read the comment.
Oh, yeah. So we've got they make their escape. They get to the edge, and they kept yelling one way out. There's only one way out, because that was kind of like their battle cry or whatever. And one of the scenes that really got me was there was the scene where they're running through the halls and they're looking into all the rooms and making sure everybody's getting out. And one of the rooms that they look into, and it's all the guards, and they're just ducking. I was like, yeah, that's about right. They're like, we're not even going to open the door. We're not even going to try and fight this because we are severely outnumbered. And at that point, a lot of them were armed as well.
Yeah.
So.
I think it was smart on their part. Like I said, it's competency on the Empire, and it's weird.
So I needed to ask this. They get to the control room and they run in there and they say, turn off the floors. Oh, we're not turning off the floors. He turns around and he shoots the one guy. He's like, okay, somebody turn off the floors. and which was good, because that's like, okay, we're not joking around here. We will do this. We will kill you if we have to. But they get the hydro cut off, so there's no power. The backup power kicks on, and the floors are turned off. But then when they leave those two guys alive. Now, what's to stop those two guys from jumping back at the controls and going, okay, turn the floors back on quick? They're all running through the halls.
Well,
yeah,
because
turn the floors back on, send out a distress signal.
It would take a while. He said it would take a while to get everything back up, though.
I mean, it's also one of those things where you're looking at it from a viewer's point of view, and it's kind of like if
Armchair
you're
quarterbacking it.
if you're in a bank robbery and you see that button and you're like, I can totally push this button while they're not looking. Are you really gonna do it?
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
because
I would.
it's chaos, and you don't know if someone's gonna come running past that door and see you fiddling with the controls and see it, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, at that point the inmates were running the asylum, so I'm sure they looked at each other and were just like, nope,
Not even gonna
let's
touch it.
let's just take the L on this one, guys.
So they get to the thing. They get to the one way out, and the the first guy falls. The second guy says one way out, and he jumps, and they all start jumping. And Andy Serkis says, "No, I'm not jumping. I can't swim." So, did he make it out of the prison? That's the question.
Well, he didn't die on screen.
He didn't die. Yeah, exactly. He didn't die on screen. Neither did Mace Windu.
Very true.
I think this is going to be kind of a bold prediction. I think with the prison break, Deidre's going to come in and question people, and Andy Serkis is going to have his I am Spartacus moment and pretty much spit in her face, and he's going to go out, and he's going to go out like a hero. That's my prediction. If he didn't jump,
he'll be the martyr, if you will.
I don't think they're going to have him die off screen. I think he's going to be tortured, and he's going to go to the end and not squeal, and it's going to frustrate her. And then they're going to, it only counts if they eat it on screen. And then she's gonna like flip a desk over or something and get mad, and then I think that's how it's gonna happen. Because they built him up too much to die off screen.
I don't know. They built him up an awful lot, but I'm also harking back to that to the Shawshank Redemption. And, one of the big themes in the Shawshank Redemption was the guys, we're institutionalized. We can't live on the outside world. We don't know how to operate. We don't know how to function. And who's to say that on the outside world, he's a next to a nobody, but, in here, hey, I'm a shift leader in here. I can, I'm running the show.
Yeah, but he's got to know that's not going to continue.
Or either that, or there's a lot of dead guards. He could just dress up like one of them.
Yeah. Say, hey, get me off of this rock.
Yeah, that just broke my heart when he said, I can't swim. And I think, in my heart of hearts, I think Cassian would have tried to help him or something until some idiot pushed him off. I was like, no!
What confused me about that whole plan was it was a solid plan, but if there's a top, shouldn't there be a bottom? And why wouldn't they try to have a plan to go to the bottom and kind of walk into the water and swim?
I think it goes below.
I think it goes below the water line. Yeah. So
because that's not good. That's not good television. Damn it.
Yeah. Because we needed the movie to happen. Come on.
Because
honestly,
we needed to create Walt Disney's Lemmings video.
whenever Kino, had all that charisma, and then at the end of it said, "I can't swim." Honestly, all that made me think of was the scene in Titanic whenever Pearl Harbor is getting bombed, and you have the naval
Titanic?
Officer who's
You said
not Titanic, not Titanic. I'm sorry, Pearl Harbor. Duh.
I was so confused. I was like,
on that movie.
No, yeah.
Titanic?
I was like, are you Blutarsky?
Okay, well, it made me think of that scene in Pearl Harbor where it's getting bombed, and you have the naval officer who's hanging on the sinking ship, going, "I can't swim," and I'm like, "You're in the Navy. Swimming is a requirement."
Where
they are the
OSHA?
Empire. They are OSHA. It's the same one that oversaw the Death Star. That's one of my favorite scenes, honestly, in the Family Guy version of Star Wars. They fire the Death Star for the first time, and then it shows those two guys who are standing there next to the laser. They said, so all I'm saying is I want a rail right here. I just want something, some kind of safety thing right here. But they said no. Do you know why? Because they're afraid we're just going to be leaning on it. Anyway.
I never watched the Family Guy parodies of Star Wars. Honestly, it's
Go watch.
I don't know. I just don't find Family Guy funny.
I don't either. But
you don't have to find Family Guy funny. Just go watch that.
I don't either. The Star Wars parodies are funny though. It's like I didn't like the Cleveland show, but that Die Hard episode was hilarious. Like it's the same thing. But yeah, the Family Guy episodes. Check those out.
I don't know about all that. I wasn't impressed with the Phineas and Ferb. I mean, Family Guy I love. Anything Robot Chicken does is gold.
You've been out there for 2 weeks. You must smell like feet and leathery bacon.
You got an ATM on that torso light bright of yours?
He's crying. He's crying.
Now Cassian escaped. He was back on the beach. He was running down the beach, and there was like one other guy with him.
Melshi.
So that
it was Melshi who he ends
I don't
up
remember.
with in Rogue One.
Yeah. I sat there and saw that, and I was like, oh, how great would it have been if what's his name had gotten off? If he just went ahead and jumped, and somebody grabbed him and said, "Here, let me help you."
No, it was
I'm
Melshi.
so lucky.
But I kind of want to know how he's going to factor in, because after all, it is his show, and everything else outside of him is tying up nicely. And I want to know where he's going to figure back into it. Like, is he going to hook up with Luthen?
I think the Empire is looking for him because what's his name's looking for him. What's his name was the one who ID'd him, and I think that the Empire. Karn, yes, Karn's the one that ID'd him and said, "Hey, he did this." And right after he does this, then this Imperial Depot gets robbed, and umpteen gazillion credits goes away. And I can imagine them there with a cork board, and they're tying their little strings and back and forth. And he belongs to this, which goes to this, which gives us the axis.
By the way, can I express my deepest sympathies for Karn's character? Because I had a mother just like that, and that dude's just trying to enjoy his crunch berries. He's just,
his crunch berries and blue milk.
His crunch berries are just like, his life sucks. That's his one source of joy. And this lady just comes in and is just chewing his ear off, and he's just like, I can't even eat my damn cereal.
until she chews his ear off until he says, I got the promotion. And she says, I'm so happy for you. I knew you could do it. Yeah, everybody's what?
Yeah, that's the difference. My mom would have kept going, but that's another story. But it's like the guy just wants to eat his cereal. He's even going for the milk. He's even going for the bowl drink of the milk, and she's just, that poor guy.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for him sometimes, but not really.
That's okay. The love of his life, Deidre, is gonna come in and make it all better by the end.
That's gonna
Mr. Creepy Stalker. Yeah.
He's that's gonna be
he's stalking her.
That's gonna be a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Cue Law and Order intro.
Dun, dun, dun.
Poor Karn. Well, he probably likes Deidre because, like, look who his mother is.
Okay, now we're getting to some Freudian stuff, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, if those are the only two ladies he knows, you gotta, He's
I
gonna
don't
feel
think
at
Deidre
home.
wants anything to do with him, though.
I don't think Deidre wants anything to do with anybody that will not get her a seat higher up than where she is.
Okay, so Deidre, they did this thing to where they said they they set up the pilot as being dead. He had the accident. Now that we're talking about Deidre, this just popped into my mind. And the one guy says, "No, we actually need to go out and investigate this because that's what they would expect us to do, is to go out and investigate this." And this happens again too with what's his name, to where he says, "No, we still have to go raid that place because that's what they're expecting us to do." But she looked at him. Is she on to him, or did she just not like somebody overstepping her? Saying,
Yeah, it seemed like she was just a little perturbed that he kind of stepped
said,
on
with
her
thunder.
toes a little bit.
yeah.
I think it's the signature. Every Disney series has to have a girl boss, and he's interfering with the girl bossing. And you can't interfere with the girl bossing. There's going to be some retribution on her part when the time comes.
Okay, fine.
What'd you say?
I said, okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, but I think she's actually a very strong-willed character, and she's I'm trying to think. There's a character I had her compared to in the previous series. She's a lot like Moff Tarkin, where if you go against her, even if you're right, she's not going to like you.
Yeah.
And even if it makes sense, what she says is what she wants to go. And if you disagree with her, you're on her you're on her short list for people that are not going to last once she gets to the position she wants to be at.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I think the facial expressions are for. Like the other guy whose post she took over, who took over for where Karn was, he's already dead when she moves up a level. So she's definitely she's the most ambitious character in the show.
Oh well, is it her or is it Karn? Because Karn is doing everything in his power to try and get back to where he was.
I don't think Karn is ambitious. I think Karn's
even trying to get with the Empire, if you know what I mean.
But I think Karn is righteous. And I think Karn...
He wants to prove he's right. He was right about Cassian.
I think he's righteous, and he's going to turn into an anti-villain. Where, he's on the side of law and order, but he's hitting the point where his life has gone to hell, and he's going to do anything he can to get the right thing done at this point. So, I mean, I'd actually compare him, if I could, to someone like a Magneto, where it's like, yeah, your intentions are good, but you're destroying everything in your path.
Thanos,
But,
a lot of people would argue Thanos was like that. Your intentions are good. You're killing trillions, but your intentions are good.
So I think he's going to end up being a good man who evolves into an anti-villain because he just couldn't let it go. And, I'd be mad if Andor made me live with my mother too. So, he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's one of those people. I think he's one of those, every school had one, that A student that had to be perfect, and then you got that blemish on your grade, and now you got to fix it. And now you got to get out there and you got to redeem yourself. That B plus can't stay on there forever. You got to get it out of there.
You have a 3.99 GPA, not a 4.0. Yes.
So I think he's going down a dark path.
There's some love for your mom. Wow, it's your mother-in-law.
Speaking of Karn's mother, it took me a little while to figure it out, but she's another Harry Potter actor, in addition to Aunt Petunia.
Yeah.
Yep, she was in Order of the Phoenix. She was Mrs. Fig.
That's right. And
Oh,
Aunt Petunia was Andor's mother, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, they touched on that too. Now that I'm there, thank you for bringing that up, because she's getting sick. She's not taking her medicine. Nobody knows where Cassian is because Cassian was arrested under a different name. But did you notice that the rebellion and the Empire both have somebody watching that house to see if he
Yeah,
comes back?
Cinta was there.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought that was good. I was like, oh, look at this, everybody.
Now I'm wondering, with 2 episodes left, are we gonna have Saw? Are we gonna have Saw come in and do some damage? Are we gonna see how he got that limp?
My
I'm
feelings on
hoping
that are
that's
kind of
next
mixed.
season. Yeah, I could see that next season, but not this. Maybe not this season. We've only got 2 episodes left. He just got out of jail.
Yeah,
My-
and with this series having been so Cassian centric for so long, I feel like having Saw come in to save the day would really feel a little forced.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see him trying to get back to where he was, and then him realizing, oh, we got people watching Mom's house. I can't go there. The rebellion's after me, and the Empire's both after me. How do I fit into this? Where do I fit in? Because, and I guess it's not technically the rebellion that's looking for him at this point. It's just that one particular group, that one cell.
I mean, I just like how Andor's drinking buddy is just like never heard of him. Like he's a ballsy guy.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, you know where he is? No.
Well, no, and see that's the clever thing about all of that is that nobody knows, just because he got arrested under a different name. So nobody, and he got arrested off planet. So it's not like anybody knew where he was going or where he is. So okay. Did we need anything else, Debbie? Did we get everything?
Yes, we do.
What? What?
Luthen's dialogue there at the end. You talk about some damn good writing.
Yes.
I mean, that was
absolutely.
just, and I don't know, for me, and I don't know why, but he kind of came off almost like a Jedi with what I was so impressed with his speech. I wrote it all down.
Wow.
That, the Lonnie, the ISB dude, he was like, well, what the hell have you sacrificed? And he says, calm, kindness, kinship, love. I mean, that sounds all Jedi-ish. And then he says something about, oh yeah, I share my dreams with ghosts. I've given up all chance at inner peace.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what kind of got my attention was, where the hell is it? Hold on. Oh, I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago. So this takes place 5 years before Rogue One.
Right.
So 15 years ago, doesn't that place him
the last year of the Clone Wars?
The last year of the Clone Wars, yeah.
So I'm like,
because Luke and
I'm not saying he was a Jedi, but I mean, he just gave that vibe off in that moment right there.
I'm sure he was a veteran.
Or maybe he was a Jedi like Qui-Gon and didn't buy completely into the ways where you had to shun everything off and kind of turned his back on it. Which is why Qui-Gon,
one of the lost 20.
Which is why Qui-Gon didn't join the council. There was a lot he disagreed with, so maybe he's along the lines of that. If we
is he the gray Jedi?
I
Oh
don't know.
God.
I'm just saying that whole speech and that view from him from the back where his cape or whatever he was wearing was like Billy. I mean, it just reminded me of
That
Dooku
was
so
awesome.
much.
That was some excellent cinematography.
Yeah, it reminded me of Dooku. And then when he started talking about, what he had lost, the calm, the kindness, all I could think of was Jedi. Yeah, I don't know, but I think there's more than meets the eye with him, which I've kind of always speculated because I'm like, in his gallery, everything pretty much is either Jedi or Sith stuff. I mean, there's some other artifacts in there. There's like a Wookiee war helmet. There at the beginning of the show, he's cleaning what looks like Padme's headdress.
I thought that. That's what I was.
And I'm
when I
like,
saw that, I was
how
like,
is he
oh.
getting this stuff? I mean, is he working, with Indiana Jones or something? And I mean, how's he getting all this Jedi and Sith stuff that's supposed to be kind of
They're going to introduce
off
Dr.
limits?
Afra.
Well, that
Oh.
would be the best defense to work
Yes.
with Indiana Jones because Indiana Jones works in sand, and Vader definitely would not come after him if he was working with Indiana Jones.
I do
So,
like the Afra idea, though.
Yeah, maybe they touch on Afra. Maybe
Yeah,
and
well-
you don't even have to cast anybody and make a character. If you're watching, this is some good stuff. So just listen, Lucasfilm. We know you watch. So so you've got Afra. Even if you just mention her, just say, "Oh, Afra brought us this other piece from," or even hell, Dr. Afra. Dr. Afra brought us this other piece. So.
Mm-hmm. But it's just weird that a lot of the stuff in his gallery or antique shop, whatever you want to call it, is mostly Sith or Jedi related, or anything that was related.
So is he a Jedi?
I don't know.
I hope not.
or is he
It's
Moon
just
Knight?
I hope
weird.
not too. Just
I mean, I'm not
because-
saying he is. It's just weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, from his speech, you can kind of, hypothesize that he was involved in the Clone Wars. So if nothing else, he was at least involved with the Jedi to some extent, or maybe he was, a separatist who, went on the straight and narrow whenever the Clone Wars ended or something. But yeah, I'm hoping he's not a Jedi. I feel like that would just be a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
I'm thinking along the lines of what I interpreting Debbie to say is that he was on the way to being a Jedi and kind of just didn't. Like he had all the qualifications to be there, and then it just wasn't for him. But he's got the
He's
got the stuff
Yes.
to do it.
Too old to complete the training.
Or he just didn't want to do it, and along the lines of Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon should have been on the council, and Qui-Gon was like, "No, I don't like you guys' policies, so I'm just going to make up midichlorians and adopt this 8-year-old boy." So,
Okay. Anything else? We're close on an hour. Debbie, did we get everything? Now
That's all I wanted
that's
to.
okay. You got the speech.
I mean, this whole episode, if they don't submit this to the Emmys or Oscars or whatever it qualifies for, because between Luthen's speech and Kino's speech, that was just
Kino's was amazing.
and even to piggyback on that, the choreography it takes to create such a chaotic scene and make it look realistic in that prison.
Even to the point of everybody was running and one or two of them tripped and they just kind of got trampled. As people were jumping over them and running. I mean, you can't expect everybody to run exactly right all the time.
To make that chaos look that realistic, I mean, that takes work.
Yeah.
It's not like
with that many people too.
Yes, I the episode in a string. Is this the 10th or 11th?
This is
10.
10.
So we got
yeah,
we got
10.
we got two more to the finale.
Two more to the
Uh,
finale.
In a string of 10 episodes, 9 of which were, in my opinion, great. One was good, but a little too talky. We've all discussed that one. Um, this is the best one so far.
This too, I thought about this as I was watching it. I this prison scene is so much better than the prison scene from Mando, where they broke the guy out in season 1.
Is that when they broke Bill Burr out?
Yeah. Well, Bill Burr was part of the team that broke. No,
Oh,
Bill
The
yeah.
Burr was
Twilight
part of-
dude.
Yeah, the Twilight
Yeah.
dude. It's so much better. So it's such a better,
Well, the thing,
more believable. It's not quite so silly. It's not cartoony.
well, the thing is, it's because of the faces. Like the scene of Mando is great, but you can see there's something to be said when you see all these people and the emotion of these faces, and some of these guys know they're gonna die,
Yeah.
and some of these guys are determined to get out, and some of these guys are unsure, and you have a whole hodgepodge of all those emotions, and it really makes for a just stellar scene to just go through in a stellar sequence because and then a guy does die, and then the guy that was sure he was getting out looks over and is like, "Oh, maybe I'm not getting out now." And when you do it with the masks, while the Mandalorian scene was done very well, you lose that element.
Yeah. You lose the
You lose the emotion.
action.
Yeah.
So, all right, just a better prison sequence and all. So, in my opinion. All right, shameless plugs, Debbie. Shameless plugs.
MCU Monday night, 9:30, same channel. Um,
I will try to be there this week. I missed
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
I missed this. I had
Sure.
work to do. I
We
did.
will be talking about Wakanda Forever. I plan on seeing it either tomorrow or Saturday. So,
We're. I told Luke we were going to try and go Sunday evening, and then he said, "Why don't we just take Samuel and go Saturday morning?" Like, he's good. He's old enough. He'll sit through a movie now. All right. We'll see. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna go try and see it this weekend. Cam. Shameless plugs.
Cam and Focus coming back on the 15th. The editing is just about finished. So, barring any world-ending events, we'll have that up and ready on the 15th.
Cool. How's your housemates situation?
A handful. They actually left yesterday to go to Wisconsin to see his mother, and that they'll be back on Sunday. So we're just enjoying a little bit of reprieve until then.
Cam is hosting refugees from Florida. So
Yeah.
after the
yeah, and they're
hurricane.
getting ready to get hit again.
They already got hit.
Oh,
Did
did
they?
they? I don't watch the news. I just knew there was another one coming.
Terrible. Okay, John. Shameless plugs.
Flu is on its way out the door. I am better. I will be doing my DCEU piece and where I think James Gunn is going to take it, and my extremely optimistic for a change opinion on how the DCEU is going to work. So that should be ready either tomorrow or Saturday. And also, I pitched my show idea. I've been behind because I was sick. Once I get my trial runs done on my Twitch channel, I will be in the Just Chatting section. The show will be called, tentatively, Couch Commentary. I'll talk about the week's events, trailer reacts, things that are going on the GNN site. It'll be fun. It'll be engaging. Sometimes I'll have guests. Sometimes I won't. Be a very relaxed time. So that should be coming in the coming weeks once I get everything fine-tuned. And that's what I've got going on right now.
Cool. Also, don't forget. Oh, I lost it. Where is it? On December the 1st, we get to start the Lego Advent Calendar. I will be doing a live stream building each day by day. I'm not going to build everything all at once. I never do. But every day I'm going to jump on here and just do a little 10-minute look. Here's what you get. Go buy you an Advent Calendar. It's great. It's going to be awesome. A lot of fun things happening at GNN. We've also got the Geek Gauntlet podcast. William was on earlier. That's on Saturday nights at 10 o'clock, 10 Eastern. MCU Mondays, like Debbie said, is 9:30 Eastern on Monday nights. Also have Captain's Logs and Lightsabers. Go check them out. They're doing some good stuff over there. Real amazing episodes. If you haven't got a chance, go check out geeknewsnow.net. John is one of the writers, but there's a lot. We have a lot of writers, and they're all writing. Johnny Lynch has got some good articles about turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Johnny Lynch is creative with the puns. He's doing a great job with
he's
the.
amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and I'd like to say, William's doing a kick-ass job with the AAV. Like these, I didn't even know we had half this programming. So we have a lot of cool stuff for everyone to check out. So
also, we're in the process of getting the Twitch channel back up. So if you're into watching people play video games, it's kind of a work in progress at this point, but it's functioning.
I'm part of that. We're doing our trial runs right now. If you catch me on, you're more than welcome to join me, but it's not a finished product, so it's not going to be anything stellar. But you could give me some pointers, give me some advice, tell me what you want to see. And that's where you're going to be finding me for the most part, trying to grind that out and just get it to perfection so we can get this thing going. So there we are.
There we are. A lot of cool stuff happening at GNN toward the end of the year. Come check us out. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell button. All that kind of fun stuff. Well, we have enjoyed our time in the Cantina today. We will see you all next week where we will be discussing episode 11 of Andor. We're almost to the season finale. So we will see you all next week. Y'all have fun, and may the Force be with you all.
Always a